What's going on, guys? Curtis, that Turbo Dakota, back in the shop. Okay, I can explain. This little thing on the bench over here has been giving me some problems. We're going to talk about it real quick, and then we're going to give you a quick update on what I got going on with the truck. We're going to talk about the dyno, the most important thing, the dyno. Let me flip the camera around and show you what's going on. Okay, here we go. So, amongst me driving this thing around, I've been driving the truck around on the street a lot lately, and I don't even know why. For some reason or another, I noticed there was an issue with the fuel pressure, and what the issue was, what it has too much. Most of the time, people don't have enough. And here's what I found. Here's the regulator I was running. I do believe it's an Airmotive A1000. Now, if you look in that regulator, hopefully you guys can see it. Right there. So right there it goes. Right there. So right there. That is the orifice that allows that fuel to go back to the tank. So the fuel comes into the side of this thing, and this is what regulates your spring and diaphragm, and then comes out of the bottom and has a line, and it runs all the way back here to our fuel cell. That's that -8 size line. It was okay for one pump. When the other two pumps came on, the fuel pressure was darn near 60 at idle, and the more boost you made, it's 1-to-1, so it just kept going up and up and up. So I picked up another one. This is actually a high flow unit. It's going to be hard to tell because the thing's all black, but the orifice coming out of the bottom of this one is actually the same size as the inner dimensions of this AN fitting, which should be right around 1/2 inch. I think that's what it's rated for. There's the part number right there if you're interested in it, but I do believe, yeah, so 0.50, so that's 1/2 inch. So it's 1/2 inch coming out the bottom. So that should solve that issue right there. Let me throw this thing back in real quick, and then I'm going to do a short test. And I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about what other small changes I've made. I cheated. I got one pump running. We're at 65 PSI. So I'm going to have to adjust the regulator, which is nothing but loosen that lock nut and adjusting the top, and we'll run it out. And we'll adjust it down. So I gotta get a wrench here somewhere. 9/16, 5/8. Can't remember which one it is. Oops, definitely 9/16. We'll loosen that like this. And it should start to be able to, and actually if you listen real close, you might be able to hear the pump change in pitch. 60. Ooh, we need to go way down. Way down. I think the lowest is like 30. Let's see now. 45. Okay. 45. So we're looking between like somewhere like, I think 43.5 or 44. So there's 44. I'm going to get a little bit more because while it's running, have more voltage. The pump might work harder. So 43, if you can see that. So 43. So at this point, I'm going to lock this lock nut down, and I'm going to go back to the back of the truck, and we will take and trigger all three of them, and then hopefully it'll stay at 43. I'll be right back. You can hear that regulator working. All right, so the moment of truth. That's it. That's what we're looking for. That's what we didn't have before. Before we had about 58, without the truck running. And you can hear that thing chirping. That's okay though. It's doing its job. It's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Cool. Let me get this thing wrapped up, and then we're going to talk about what other changes has happened. Okay, let's have a truck. A truck. Let's have a truck. Let's have a talk. So in the last couple weeks, things that have changed with the truck, and if I talked about this already, I apologize, but I'm not going to go through my old videos and look, because I'm not. One of the biggest things that's changed is the converter. We sent the converter out. We had the converter restalled. Obviously, we haven't been to the track yet with the addition of the dyno because it's kind of taken up a lot of the time. And the last 2 weekends, I've been doing stuff around the house because, adulting. But yeah, so the converter's definitely tightened up. So hopefully it'll mile an hour higher. So that's one thing I got done. You just saw me get the fuel system stuff squared away. So at this point in time, the only thing that's keeping me from running E85 in this thing is I've got to get another set of injectors in it So I've been looking at like Snake Eater and FICs and maybe some like ID 1000s or 150s. But we'll see. That'll come. Right now I need to put my focus back in that dyno, getting that dyno figured out. We were having a hard time with it. It was kind of frustrating because it's summer in Maryland, it's humid. I think it must have been 95 degrees in the shop, and you got the vehicles running. That manufacturer, that dyno, isn't in business anymore. They closed their doors about a year ago, even though that dyno might as well be new. So it's trying to find support for the software part of it is a little bit hard. There's some Facebook groups. We checked them out. People in there were very, very nice. So I'm just having issues getting it to do what I want it to do. Manual transmission cars aren't as bad. It's the automatics like that thing where it really struggles with the converter and have the way the dynos loads the converter and loads the vehicle and just trying to make it a smooth transaction. So like when you hit the run, it doesn't lay flat on the converter and have to catch up and all this weird stuff. So we're just learning it. Worst case scenario is if I really feel like it's just not working out the way I want it to, is we can switch the electronics in it. So there are companies that support where you can buy their stuff, switch the electronics, because the hardware, the hard parts itself isn't really the issue. So we'll see. Probably the next shot you guys are going to see this Thursday. So I think Saturday or Sunday, my buddy's got this Pinto that we're going to get on it. I'm going to verify some stuff in the tune and just kind of mess around. Just give us a chance to see if we can get the thing figured out. At some point, this thing in the background, my 9412 valve, is going to get a frame. I actually have a frame under a tarp, so you can kind of see the remnants of a dash we're going to use from the donor truck and some other stuff. But I'm going to be pulling basically everything off of the frame, taking the drive line, putting it on the new frame, and a bunch of messing around there. I'll probably videotape some of that. It should be interesting. I've never gone that far with it. So we got that going on. So anyway, quick update on the Dakota. I promise we're going to get back to the track. I still have the Pro bracket radials behind me. They're barely even broken in. So again, next shot you guys are going to see, we're going to be on that hub dyno, most likely being frustrated. See ya. Hey guys, there's a lot of jumping around this video. So, after 7 years of turbo abuse, I kind of got curious, right? So I said, hey, let's do a compression check on the monster behind me and see how it's going. So here's what I got. And I'll start on the driver's side, which is 1357. So 150, 155, 150, 155 roughly, right? And then on the other side, 2, 4, 6, and 8, I got 140, 140, 135, and 150. To be honest, that's not bad at all. Considering this thing's been together for 7 years of just butt-kicking abuse, and I've never had to touch, the bottom end. It's just the way it came is the way it is. That's not bad. A part of me was kind of expecting to find maybe something like real, real low. That reading was all dry. Sometimes people put oil in the cylinders to see if they can get the numbers up, just to kind of gauge on how everything's going. But that was all dry. That was just me pulling one plug out at a time, taking the tester and checking it. So I'm happy with that. So just figured I'd throw that in there for you guys. I was curious, and I let you guys know everything that's going on, as we do it in real time. So yeah, again, 5.9 Magnum, not horrible to turbo at all. But again, next shot you guys are gonna see will probably be on the dyno with this sweet Pinto. Da-da-da, as promised. So, got the Pinto on the dyno. This Pinto 2.3 car, raised compression, small cam. It's like a track car, not like drag strip style track, like road race style. So really just putting it on here to verify some stuff. You can see Sean working. Got the great white fox here. He's checking things out. Got the thing on there, started it up, and it was revving real high. One thing led to another, and we pulled the intake off, found an intake leak. So we're getting ready to fire this thing up shortly. As soon as we get it back together, everything is hooked up, ready to go. Fox is gonna be the operator. Let's do it. Okay, so we made the first rip with this thing. It looks like it made right around 145 horsepower, 137-ish foot-pounds of torque. Not too bad. Again, we're fighting the dyno. We're still fighting the dyno, trying to get things figured out for that. It's getting a little bit better, to say the least. So what I'm going to do now is I got to look through the tube up. We're going to clean some of the fuel up, and then we're going to make another rip real quick. So yeah, so let's just see what happens. All right, we're done for the day. I didn't bother getting any film of the thing actually running because it's loud and obnoxious, and you guys are going to hear much anyway. If you want a shot of that sweet motor, it didn't make it. I think the most we ever squeezed out, it was like 150 wheel, and that's SAE corrected. But maybe next time we will get something else on there, like that thing, or maybe that thing. We'll see. But until next time, thanks. Say bye to Sean. Say bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean. See you guys.